who was so happy that he gave Happy a kiss on his wet little puppy nose. The end.
Whoa, 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 Miss Lippy. The part of the story I don't like is that the little boy gave up looking for Happy after an hour. He didn't put posters up or anything. He just sat on the porch like a goon and waited. That little boy's got to think, you got a pet. You got a responsibility. If your dog is lost, you don't look for an hour and then call it quits. You get your ass out there and you find that fucking dog.
I think it's time to play dodgeball.
Yo, what is up? Week 6. God damn it. I'm just kidding. I hope everyone had a good week. I know some of us did not have good weeks in terms of fantasy football. We're getting to that time of the season where you got to pay attention and you just got to roll with the punches because you're going to get weird games like the Jets versus the Broncos, which made me want to stab my eyes out of my head, especially first thing in the morning. But in all joking aside, I hope you're all doing well. We're going to get into it, talk about the numbers for the week here. Week in review, the average team score went down almost 9% from last week. So the average team score was 101.63. 6 teams scored over their projected total. So less than half the league outperformed their projected totals. We had 7 teams over 100 points. That's down 3 teams from last week, and 0 underdog wins this week. So I did a little digging. This felt like a down week overall for our league, and it actually was. It was the number 8 lowest scoring week for our league all time. So in the top 10 for kind of crappy weeks. Not everyone had a crappy week, but overall for the league it was down. And we had the second lowest average league score of all time this week. So that 101.63 was the second lowest we've scored collectively on average as a group since we started. So good job. And this is only the 4th time we've had no underdog wins. So it doesn't happen often. Basically once per season, we'll have a week like this where the games just suck or the scoring's lopsided and it's all within a couple of games. So don't be down on yourself. Don't get depressed. Keep your chin up. It's not you. Or maybe it is you. All right. Sleuthy Sloths versus 2 in the Pink. Final score, 2 in the Pink, 153.76 points to Brendan's 89.59 points. Hats off to Johnny. This was a big win to see what the ceiling of that team can be post-trade a couple weeks back going with Trevor's Locks. Swapped some players, made some upgrades, and it's paying off. 3 wins in a row after starting the season 0-3. Baker Mayfield, Jalen Waddle, and Josh Jacobs led the way for 2 in the Pink, while Keon Coleman, Matt Prater, and the Philadelphia defense underperformed for Brendan's team. All-time 2 in the Pink now leads the series 3-0, and 2 in the Pink, as I said, moves to 3-3 on the season, sitting right outside the playoff bubble at 500 in 9th place, while Brendan's team falls to 1-5, sitting in 12th place. All right, the Pack versus Radical Rob. Final score, Radical Rob 111.86 points to the Pack 71.06 points. A season low for the Pack. I actually rested all of my best players this week. I let them take a week off. They were tired, kind of beat up. In all seriousness, that Broncos-Jets game just brutal. And Rob's running backs came through. Bryce Young, Ashton Genty, and Christian McCaffrey led the way, while Garrett Wilson, Cortland Sutton, and Hunter Henry underperformed for the Pack. Radical Rob now leads this series all-time 2-1, and After this win, Radical Rob moves into first place at 5-1 on the season. The pack moves down a rank to second place at 4-2. Molly Dangerfield versus Nakua Matata. Molly Dangerfield 102.52 to Nakua Matata's 86.39 points. Molly Dangerfield improves to 4-2 after Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert, and DK Metcalf pull through for very solid outings. Puka, poor Puka, just the maniac that he is. He's that great because he sacrifices his body, but then this is the other side of it. Gets hurt a lot. This one didn't come back from. Hopefully it's not a long-term injury, but it was enough to tank Patrick's performance on the week, which is, again, tough to get away from those injuries to start the season. Hassan Haskins, Ramondre Stevenson, and Puka Nakua were the underperformers for Nakua Matata's team. All-time, Molly Dangerfield now leads the series 2-1. Molly Dangerfield moves to 5th place at 4-2, and Nakua Matata is now in 11th place at 2-4. Paige's Primo team versus Matt's Gritty Goombas. The wedding planning's getting to her. She made some moves on the waiver to fill some gaps for some injured players and players on bye, but ultimately Matt's Gritty Goombas takes the victory, 115.45 points to Paige's Primo team, 66.5 points after not starting a quarterback and a couple of other players. That's what happens at this time of the season when you're doing other things and not able to key in and pay attention, but happens to the best of us. Matt's team takes advantage, and again, solid performance. So again, likely could have taken the victory even if Paige's team was fully healthy. But yeah, it's tough when you don't have a quarterback starting and you take some zeros where you shouldn't have. Ladd McConkey, Travis Kelce, and the Denver defense lead the way for Matt's Gritty Goombas, while Kyler Murray, Evan McPherson, and Kenneth Walker underperformed for Paige's Primo team. All time, Paige's Primo team leads the series 2-1, but this is Matt's first victory over Paige's Primo team all time. So congratulations to Matt. Matt sits at 3-3 in 10th place coming out of this matchup, while Paige's Primo team slips to 1-5 and sits in 14th place. Dominic the Donkey versus Watch Out We Getting Healthy #1. This was a good one. This is probably this was a heavyweight just slugfest, really looking at it. Lewis's team's really coming for revenge. He's on his revenge tour. I really give Lewis a lot of credit. Putting up a very healthy 137.69 points behind Drake May, Bijan, and Trey McBride. Dominic the Donkey losing ultimately on the week, 114.15 points, though, would have beat most of the teams in the league this week with that score, aside from a couple. Zach Charbonnet, Stephon Diggs, and the Cleveland defense underperforming for Dominic the Donkey's team. Lewis's team now leads this series 2-1 all time and sits at 4-2 in third place. So shout out Lewis. Really nice comeback after the last couple seasons, having to struggle through some injuries. Dominic the Donkey sitting at 3-3 in 7th. All right, Dog Pound versus Steve's Retirees. Angelo pulled out the victory, 81.12 points to Steve's Retirees, 73.82. Overall, not a lot of fireworks in this one, but again, Angelo does what it takes to get the win, which, again, at this point in the season, you just want to get wins because you want to get into the playoffs. People are going to come back from bye weeks, right? Each team only has one bye week. People are going to come back from injuries. You get players back from suspensions, yada, yada, all these different things. So shout out to Angelo for getting the win. Tough luck for Steve's team. it's tough in the streets right now for running backs, depending on who you have or who's gone down. Jamar Chase is coming back, making his way back. So yeah, keep your eye out, because as players either get hurt, go out for the season, other players are going to start to pop up and fill in, either from, the ranks, right, from the second spot, off the practice squad. They might not be big names, but they could be big fantasy values. So just keep at it. And last but not least, we have Al's Dumpster Divers versus Trevor's Locks. Final score, Trevor's Locks 124.11 to Al's Dumpster Divers 95.73 points. Jackson, I can never say this name. Jackson Smith Njigba 32.7 points. Sam Laporta, James Cook leading the way for Trevor's Locks. And Roma Dunze, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Breece Hall. Some big names underperforming. Not the only one, but ultimately wasn't able to deliver Al the win. All time, Trevor's Locks leads the series 2-1 and moves to 8th place at 3-3. Al's Dumpster Divers sits at 4-2 in 4th place. All right, we have the weekly awards for week 6. Beauty of the week goes to Tua in the Pink, 153.76 points. And as if scripted, after me saying last week that Johnny hadn't won Beauty of the Week yet, career-wise in our league, right on cue, nabs his first one, 153.76 points. So shout out to Johnny on his first Beauty of the Week award.
Strike to claim it, a strike to claim it, and he got it!
Are you kidding me? That's right.
And
Who do you think you are? I am. Get it right.
then we have Beast of the Week, Paige's Primo team, 66.5 points. She gets a pass. She's getting married this weekend, so shout out Paige. Congratulations. Two in the Pink also securing the Large in the Margin award, 64.17 point margin of victory. Impressive. No Cuff and Link award this week because there's no underdog wins. So that's not happened. Again, it's only the 4th time that's happened in 3 seasons, so it doesn't happen often. And then Dog Pound secures the Anxiety award with a 7.30 point margin of victory. Week 6 standings. Radical Rob, 1st place. The Pack, 2nd place. Lewis's team, 3rd place. Al's Dumpster Divers, 4th place. And Molly Dangerfield sits in 5th place. For biggest movers on the week, we had Lewis's team moving up 2 spots from 5th to 3rd. Radical Rob going from 3rd to 1st. Johnny going from 10th to 9th, up 1 spot. Molly Dangerfield going from 6th to 5th. Dog Pound from 7th up to 6th. Matt's Gritty Goombas moves up 1 spot from 11th to 10th. And Sleuthy Sloths goes from 13th to 12th. Fallers, we had Dominic the Donkey going down 3 spots from 4th to 7th place. Nakua Matata drops 2 spots from 9th to 11th. Al's Dumpster Divers falls from 2nd place to 4th place. And the Pack falls 1 spot from 1st to 2nd. Last but not least, Steve's Retirees drops 1 spot from 12th to 13th. Top scoring players so far for our league through 6 weeks. Sorry, almost forgot what week we're on. Week 6 for quarterbacks, we have Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Baker Mayfield, and Drake May, rounding out the top 5 quarterbacks. For wide receivers, we have Puka Nacua, JSN, George Pickens, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Emeka Egbuka. And for running backs, we have Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, Christian McCaffrey, Devon Achane, and James Cook rounding out the top 5 running backs. All right, trades. No new trades. Still only have the most recent one, which is me trading Emeka Egbuka over to Radical Rob for Quinshon Judkins. Again, I still claim time will tell on this one, although Egbuka went down with an injury this week, so just crappy luck there. But again, keep scouting those trades. A lot of teams have some big holes right now due to bye weeks or injuries. If you can find something that matches up and improves both of your teams, send out some trade offers. Can start negotiations and you can improve both of your teams at the same time. But like I said last week, not everyone has stuff to trade right now just because everyone's beat up. So, be nice to each other, be cordial, and if you can get a trade done, do it. All right, Week 7 matchup previews. Up first, we have Al's Dumpster Divers taking on Molly Dangerfield. 2 top 5 teams, mid-season matchup, right? We're looking out to Week 14 is the last week of the regular season for us, so we're creeping up to that halfway point. These are the matchups that start to have early playoff implications. I know I started talking about that last week, but now it becomes more real because the playing field's pretty even. If you look back at our standings, there's not a lot of wins separating our league. So we're back to where there's one win separating each tier of team as you move down the standings. So if a team gets hot, even if they're down in the bottom right now, there's still a shot they can make the playoffs. This is one of those matchups that can have those types of implications early on. Al looking to get back into the win column to see if he can keep his top 5 spot, while Molly looks to push up into the top 3 with a win. Dog Pound versus 2 in the Pink. Dog Pound coming off the second straight win, I think, sub 100 points, but doesn't matter. It's 2 wins in a row. So we have a two game win streak going, while 2 in the Pink's got a 3-game win streak going, coming off a really impressive win, putting up over 150 points. All time, Tua leads this series 2-0, and 2 in the Pink's going to look to make a break into the playoff bubble. So sitting at 9th place, right outside. Dog Pound's going to look to defend that 6th place spot, see if they can move up with that 4-2 record. This will be a good one to watch. Dominic the Donkey versus Nakua Matata. 2 tough luck teams ran up against some really good performances last week. Lewis's team put up almost 140 points on Dominic the Donkey, and Patrick just can't get away from the injury bug. So right now, Nakua Matata leads the series 3-0. So Dominic the Donkey looking for their first win versus a league rival at this point. And Dominic the Donkey's hanging right on the edge of the playoff bubble. So 3-3, 2-4. Again, if you look at the 2 records there, only 1 win separates the 2 of them. So if Patrick can pull out a win here, it goes a long way towards climbing back to playoff chances. So good luck to both teams. Matt's Gritty Goombas versus Watch Out We Getting Healthy #1. This is another matchup that I think is going to be a really good one because Matt's team seems to have a decent ceiling. Is a little beat up right now. But Lewis's team sitting in the top 3, 3rd place at an impressive 4-2. Matt scored almost 120 last week, beating Paige's Primo team. Wasn't a real tough matchup, but I think that's going to change this week. Lewis's team putting up an impressive 137 last week. Matt does lead the series all-time 2-0, so Lewis looking to continue that revenge tour and grab another first all-time victory over an opponent. We'll see if that happens and see if Lewis can retain his top 3 spot. Paige's Primo team versus Radical Rob. First place team versus last place team. Rob coming off a win that secured him that first place spot. Paige coming off a tough week, off a couple injuries with the quarterback situation, put up a couple goose eggs in the score there. Rob does own this series all-time 2-0, so Paige looking for their first win. This would be a good one. This would be a statement win, a major upset, I would even say, if Paige's team is able to pull that out on her wedding weekend. Good luck, Paige. Best of luck to both teams. Go get them. Sleuthy Sloths versus Trevor's Locks. Brendan's team got upended by Johnny's team last week, having to absorb 150 points, getting hung up on them. That's a lot. Trevor's Locks coming off a nice solid win over Al's Dumpster Divers, putting up over 120 points on the week. This series is tied all-time 1-1. Brendan's team's just struggled to find some consistency. Trevor's Locks looks like Jax, you're putting together some consistency. Brian Thomas starting to look like he's coming back strong. Got good running backs there. So again, looking to make a deep playoff run. But let's see if Sleuthy Sloths can start to climb out of the basement there, right? 1-5, it's not impossible. Get to 2-5, you're sitting right there with the bulk of the teams that are looking to jump to the playoff bubble. So string a couple wins through, you never know what can happen. Don't give up. Last but not least, we have Steve's Retirees versus the Pack. Second place versus 13th place team. Steve having to trudge through without Lamar. Hopefully gets him back next week, so I'm dodging a bullet getting to play Steve before he gets Lamar Jackson back. But again, having to roll with running back injuries, quarterback injuries, those two can just kneecap a team for weeks if you don't have a good starting quarterback or your starting quarterback's out and you don't have consistent running back play. It can make it really difficult. The Pack leads the series 2-0, both teams coming off of losses last week. Steve looking to string together a couple wins to try to climb out of the basement there and make a run at having a possibility at making the playoffs, while the Pack's going to look to stay in the top three and put another win on the board. We're getting to that time. We're getting to that time in the season where you got to start playing like there's nothing to lose. Some of us have, I guess, something to lose if you have, I guess, more wins strung together. But you're going to start to come into situations where teams are going to be starting players where either you may have never heard of them, or they're brand new, they're rookies, they're off the practice squad, like I said earlier. It's going to feel like we're putting together squads where it's like, I have nothing. I have no other choice. This is just what I'm going to play. So don't be afraid to take some chances out there. You're going to have to play some players that you don't feel comfortable with. It's going to feel gross. You're going to have to put some players on the bench that you don't want to just because they're not performing. That's going to feel gross. None of it feels good, but just realize we're all in the same spot in the end. Some of our teams are a little healthier than others, but in the end, there really is nothing to lose. So go for it. Don't forget to set your lineups. We have, I think, 3 or 4 teams that haven't spent any of their free agent acquisition budget money, right? The FAB budget money we get. So go out, get your players. It's a little late in the season now, but there's going to be players there that are going to be able to help you on bye weeks, defenses, right? All these little things. And in a few weeks, that playoff picture is going to start to become a little clearer, and teams are going to start planning who they're going to pick up and drop to make a run at the playoffs and start looking at the week 15, 16, and 17 schedule. So exciting times. I hope you're having fun. I'm having fun. Go Pack, go.
Effective.
All right.
I broke my nose. I don't want to play no more.
Hey, Switowski, what are you talking about?
Ball, he broke in my nose.
Okay, stop crying. All right, we can fix this. Here we go. Okay, good.
How's it look?
How's it look? It looks like looks better than before.
Really?
Yeah, it's straighter, more distinguished, kind of like a young Michael Jackson.
I love little Michael.